Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to another video with myself, Angel Martinez, where I bring you value in all things content creation to empower you to get out there and create content because you have a gift to share and the world needs to hear it. In this video, I am going to offer you my top tips for shooting natural looking video while using a teleprompter. Now, before I continue on, I do want to give you a quick disclaimer so that you can pay attention while you're watching this video. I am shooting this video on my iPhone 14 Pro, which it looks amazing, by the way, right? You too can accomplish great looking video just from your phone. And I'm using the Teleprompter for Video app, which is extremely valuable for creators like yourself. If you want to learn more about this app, make sure to check out that video where I break it down for you and share with you the reasons why you absolutely need to have this app on your phone. Using a teleprompter is like a secret weapon that most creators use and you don't even know it. Majority of the creators that you watch on YouTube all use a teleprompter. The common belief around using a teleprompter is that your video will appear unnatural and scripted. I've heard this countless times and it can actually achieve quite the opposite. And it all comes down to learning how to use this method of shooting video and getting used to how a teleprompter works, or how to work with it basically. Let's dive into how I use a teleprompter and still maintain that natural feeling to it. Number one, leveraging movement and body motion. So as you notice, as I'm speaking, you can see my head moving around, my hands moving around, my head kind of changing position so that you don't pay too much attention to where my eyes are at. And so when you're shooting video, avoid being stiff. And this is for two reasons. The first reason is that because you are still reading, there is technically some bit of motion in your eyes. And if you're stiff, it's going to be a lot easier to tell that your eyes are moving, even if it's just that slight bit. The second reason is that when you're naturally speaking to someone, you are still using facial expressions, hand movement, and even some head movement. You're not standing there all stiff when you're engaging in a natural conversation with someone, right? No, absolutely not. And this is one of the biggest mistakes that people make when using a teleprompter, because they're so focused on trying to read that they forget they're supposed to be using their, They forget that they're supposed to be using their hands and facial expressions, changing your tone of voice, etc. Tip number two, write your script as natural as possible, meaning as you're writing, write as if you're speaking. This is one that is super helpful because I typically get some side thoughts or ideas as I'm writing, and I'll just go ahead and throw them in there as is. Don't be afraid to throw in some humor and really just be yourself when you're writing your script. I would avoid making notes like add side notes or add side comment about park visit here. Instead, actually write in the comment, the actual comment here just in your script, just as you would like to present it. And also don't be afraid that as you're presenting your script to go off script during your video. I tend to do that a lot. That definitely happens, and just roll with it. It adds so much more of that natural feel to your video. Tip number three, change your tone of voice. If you read your script like a monotone robot, it is going to sound and feel horrible. And obviously, it's not going to feel natural. You want to make sure to change your tone of voice as you read your script, and I found that it helps to present your script at least 2 to 3 times before you shoot your final video, because you start to get into that natural feel of your script. Which takes me to my last tip, practice. Keep practicing using your teleprompter. I found that this was key for me, and as I continued to practice, I was able to get better at the head movement, throwing in some off-script comments to make it feel more natural. With practice, you're going to find how it works for you, and your video will only feel more natural. Also, as you practice your scripts, don't be afraid to go back and re-edit your script. I find that I tend to go off script often and I end up messing up and still having to redo my content over again. So I found it best to just go back into my script and add in my off script comments as I would actually present them. as you actually start presenting your script, you might find that you have additional important points that you want to mention as things come up. Just go back and add them in there. So there you have it, my friends. Implement these tips into your work and you'll be on your way to shooting great looking video and save tons of time and headaches doing it. So I would be extremely grateful if you let me know how this video felt and sounded to you. Did it still sound and feel natural as I read this from a script? Could I still use some practice? Let me know. And if you found value from this video, please show some love. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.